Hello, my name is Alan Mankiewicz, and I'm here today to talk to you about our topic, which is sustaining local involvement in global leadership. I'm going to talk to you about our scenario, and also about some of the major drivers that influences this scenario, including economic forces. This scenario, which we've dubbed looking out for number one, is the protectionist scenario. In this scenario, we view the world as our superstore, providing cheap goods, labor, and other resources. We don't share our resources and technology with others. What's yours is ours, and what ours is ours. In this scenario, we share as little as possible with other countries. Manitoba has a lot of potential hydroelectric capacity, and in this scenario, we would ensure that we kept all of our energy we needed in order to sustain our economy before worrying about the energy needs of others. We have a large supply of fresh water, something that is becoming more and more scarce in some parts of the U.S. In this scenario, there isn't enough to go around, so we might as well keep as much as we can for ourselves. We have to develop strategic alliances with other jurisdictions and countries to share or sell excess resources for products we don't produce internally. One example is trading excess fresh water for goods like fruit and vegetables. There's been a big trend towards increased globalization in the worldwide economy, and that could have a big impact on Winnipeg. Winnipeg has already started to develop its potential as a North American transportation hub. The new North American Super Corridor initiative is something that could also help Winnipeg emerge as a major transportation hub in the new global economy. Oil prices also have a big impact on the local economy. Not only does it increase manufacturing costs for local industries, but the oil boom has led many people to leave Manitoba for Alberta. However, if oil prices go too high, we could increase our hydroelectric and alternative fuels capacity, which would allow our economy to become more self-sufficient. Labor is another major driving force we identified. There's been an increased trend to offshoring jobs in the new global economy as a way to keep labor costs down. This, combined with relatively low unemployment rates, has forced the local economy to look at innovative ways to expand its labor force. In order to keep the economy moving along, we have to find ways to keep jobs here. One way of doing that locally is through the provincial nominee program. The development of human capital is also seen as crucial to sustaining positive economic growth. According to Lawrence Lau, an economics professor at Stanford, major funding needs to be devoted to training and education. He also says that university, industry, and government cooperation is important. One of the major important local sectors we also identified was biotechnology. With the opening of the new Federal Virology Lab, Winnipeg has an opportunity to play a larger role in the international biotechnology scene. There has been major advances in this area, like the development of gene-specific vaccines, and Winnipeg is well suited to stay on the cutting edge of these advances. Another major sector important to our city, agriculture, is also well positioned to capitalize on new technology, like drought-resistant crops, and lead the way in research in that area. Manufacturing and energy will also have to continue to evolve and seek ways to make our local economy relevant in a world where businesses will move an entire operation based on labor costs. In order to keep high-paying jobs here, we need to continue to provide a labor force that is highly skilled and ready to adapt to these new global economic factors. Economic forces beyond the control of our local economy could lead to a scenario where we take a more protectionist stance. For example, currency markets, which change according to the global economy, have a major impact on Winnipeg. If the Canadian dollar increases, labor costs will also increase. This will force many local industries to increase efficiency and specialization in order to remain competitive. In one of our community dialogues, we discussed the fact that Winnipeg tries to be too many things all at once. This could hurt Winnipeg if we move in a protectionist direction, due to the fact that we have very few industries, where a Winnipeg business is leading the way in their sector on the global stage. In terms of our scenario, one of the potential major impacts of this protectionist stance within Winnipeg is that the immigrant community may be dissatisfied with this approach because many of them feel we should be taking a more collaborative approach with countries that have less. This will force local leaders to decide whether they want to continue down the path of protectionism or move in a more cooperative or collaborative direction. To sum up, I think many of the community dialogues and a lot of the research we've done has given me the impression that our economy has the potential to become a major player in the global economy. We just need to capitalize on our strengths and develop a clear strategy that will help us realize this potential. As you can see, economic forces have a major impact on our scenario. If we are able to adapt, we can overcome any problems that this might pose. I'm Alan Mankiewicz, and that's my take on this scenario.